Tomorrow is special election day in Washington state, and in Marysville, voters will decide if they want to renew a sales tax which helps pay for road and sidewalk improvements. It has been in place for 10 years, breaking down a 10-cent tax on a $50 purchase. The 0.2% sales tax generates around $3 million a year. Mayor John Nehring says it would be a huge problem if it fails.
Without this type of money available, what communities do that don't have this type of thing is they just frankly don't repair all their roads.
More than 200 local measures will be decided statewide, including bonds and levies for schools and fire districts. Property taxes could be heavily affected. In Pierce County alone, 5 school districts have funding measures on the ballot. The Puyallup School District is part of it, and it's hoping voters will approve a $175 million capital levy. King 5's Drew Andre has the details.
Like many school districts, Puyallup is dealing with issues with aging buildings, like here at Zeiger Elementary, for example, where they're having to replace old piping at the front entrance, and they're definitely not alone.
This winter, the elements again have exposed the aging infrastructure at schools in Puyallup. Woodland Elementary was forced to close for 4 days in January because of sprinkler pipes that burst. Superintendent John Palm says they work through these issues, but it hurts the learning environment.
It makes it difficult for us to really hold school at all, let alone hold school in a way that we feel like is the kind of climate and environment we want our students to be in.
The school district has identified more than $300 million in necessary upgrades. This $175 million capital levy would address about half of that. The pressing issues like fixing roofs, improving hundreds of those older portable classrooms, and upgrading heating and cooling ventilation.
The Clean Buildings Act is a state mandated program that's currently not funded, but we're moving the needle in the right direction to make us more energy efficient.
PSD plans to make all of the playgrounds ADA accessible. That means replacing the wood fiber chips at 17 elementary schools. Other upgrades include improving internet access.
65% of our elementary schools right now do not meet the level of service that's needed because the internet data cabling in the buildings was obsolete back in 2001.
The district says if they don't get this money, its current capital fund will be depleted in just 3 years.
We would be facing some difficult decisions on, prioritizing projects that are the most emergent and then moving dollars from our general fund budget into our capital budget in order to take care of those needs.
But this is not an easy task. It does need at least 50% of the vote to pass, and a similar levy back in 2022 did not pass. How much will this cost people? Well, if you own a $500,000 home, it'll cost you about $36 a month over the next 6 years. Reporting in Puyallup, Drew Andre, King 5 News.
In Edmonds, voters will decide the future of their schools with a massive $700 million levy and bond proposal that school officials insist will not raise taxes. 15 of the 34 schools in the district are more than 50 years old, including College Place Middle, which dates back to 1970. The bond and levy proposal would build or finish 5 new schools, upgrade technology, and train teachers. The group behind the effort says the whole thing would be tax neutral for voters.
Proposition 2 is a replacement levy. It replaces an expiring levy that's about to go out. Proposition 1, while it's a new bond, it would terminate an existing capital levy from 2021.
Levies need a simple majority to pass, while bonds must get 60% of the vote. In Renton, the increase in the city's minimum wage is also on the ballot. And if approved, Renton's minimum wage would become one of the nation's highest at $20.29 an hour for those with larger businesses. Small employers would be required to pay $18.29 per hour. Businesses with fewer than 15 workers would be exempt if they meet certain criteria. Remember, ballots must be returned to a county drop box or voting center or postmarked by 8 p.m. tomorrow.